Hello and welcome to Orlando and a meeting of Florida's finest, where number 3 Florida State visits Orlando and plays the University of Central Florida, who happens to be leading the SEC East right now in a matchup that is going to determine who is going to hold first place for the time being, as there's still more to figure out for who's going to end up winning this division, but a win today from either of these teams would go a long way towards solidifying their claim to the crown. John Reese Plumlee leads UCF as a dual threat, but has really improved in the passing game. Yes, he has 12 interceptions, but he's been incredibly proficient with 23 passing touchdowns. And then on the ground, they've had the combination with DeMarcus Bowman, the Florida transfer, who has been averaging almost 5 yards a carry and 6 rushing touchdowns, and has provided some stability with John Reese Plumlee's legs to lead a pretty potent offense for the Golden Knights. And then when you look up and down their wide receiver core, they have a pretty deep group of guys that are experienced, but not a lot of big playability in the speed department. So if Florida State's DBs are able to keep them in containment, they should have no problem with letting these guys be game breakers, but they're all very talented and can end up being a very big threat to Florida State in this game. Arguably the most talented player on UCF's defense is Jason Johnson at linebacker. If he starts flying around and making plays, Florida State is going to be in some serious trouble, and I'm not quite sure if they're going to have the firepower to be able to handle him if he's wreaking havoc on the edge. Then when you look at the big picture stats, both teams like to run their offenses and score points, but the defensive side of the ball is a little more of a struggle. And then the last thing to point out is it is Florida State's first full game without Jared Verse, and then UCF has a couple of guys out on the offensive line. But that's about all you need to know as we are ready for kickoff, and UCF boots this one away, and Winston Wright is going to let it bounce into the end zone, and Florida State is going to start this one with the ball, 1st and 10. It's a battle for Florida between FSU and UCF. Let's see how Florida State comes out today. They're going to run it with Benson from a shotgun run, and Benson's able to get 5, and that seems to be the bread and butter for this Florida State offense. Getting into a groove early is getting a nice stable running game. Travis drops back, and he gets hit as he throws, and UCF getting some good pressure early in that set. 3rd and 5 now for Florida State. Benson in the backfield again, old reliable for Florida State. They're going to fake the handoff to him. Travis tucks it and runs, and he takes a couple of hits, but he'll get 14 yards, and that's a nice look for them. Florida State knows that if anybody's going to give them the Travis run, that they'll be able to take advantage of that, and he'll make them pay. Here's another run to Benson. He comes up the middle from a shotgun run. That's 3 more yards. 2nd and 7 now for Florida State. This time they have Rodney Hill in the backfield getting a nice rotation. Travis running out to the right and tries to throw and throws off balance and throws it into the stands for a 3rd and 7 now. Big 3rd down opportunity for UCF to get off the field and get some momentum against Florida State. Travis runs back and he gets hit, fumbles the ball. UCF recovers, and luckily Travis trips him up on the ground, or else he would have gone all the way. But that's going to give the ball to UCF early, and UCF will have an opportunity to strike first after they get a stop on the defensive side. Big play for them to start today's game. It's going to be John Reese Plumlee in the shotgun to start today's game. 1st and 10. Plumlee drops back, gets good protection, drops it off to his tight end Alec Holler with a 5-yard reception, and sets up a 2nd and 5 now for the UCF offense. Plumlee drops back, finds, hits Corey Gamage. Beautiful play in the slant, works his way all the way down to the 2-yard line. And now UCF is in very much scoring territory with DeMarcus Bowman in the backfield. He'll get this carry, run it into the end zone untouched. 2 yards and a score. And now Florida State will need to respond from this early 7-0 deficit, which is not anything new for Florida State, but I don't know how many times you can play with fire and come out alive. So we'll see how Florida State responds today. They come out with their 3-down lineman look, get the ball out to Keon Coleman, and Coleman will rumble for 6 yards and sets up a 2nd and 4, first completion for Travis. Then we see a shotgun run for Benson, and there's 7 yards. It looks like those yards are very easy to come by today. We'll see how often Florida State goes to that run game. Another off-balance throw by Travis. Not even close. He's 1 for 4 to start today. Shotgun snap to Travis, steps up, throws into traffic, but Kentron Portier somehow comes down with that one. 16 yards. And Florida State has a 1st down on the first real throwdown field by Travis. Another run to Benson to the outside. He's got some room, but he's chased down after 6 yards. But those 6 yards will still set up a manageable 2nd and 4. Benson looks like he's really in his bag today. About 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Florida State watches, and Travis steps up and still can't even find his man. He is all sorts of off kilter today, but maybe you need to stay with the running game, and they do, but only 1 yard brings up a 4th down, and they're kind of in no man's land, and looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 3 early, which seems a little early to go for it, but you're kind of in this dead zone, and you're not really gaining anything by punting. Play action, looks to throw to the outside, and he does not have the accuracy to start today, as he's 2 for 7, and that ball hits the ground, and Florida State is going to turn it over. It looked like he had plenty of time. There was no pressure on him, and Kyle Morlock had nice position to hit him, and Travis just didn't, and they're going to turn the ball over and give the ball to UCF past the 40-yard line. Play action for Plumlee. He fires and throws immediately into the arms of the Florida State defensive back, Renardo Green, and that just seemed like he was trying to force a ball downfield and did not have the zip on it to get to his guy. His guy made a nice move and seemed to be getting open, but Renardo Green snares it from the air, and Florida State gets the ball back, and their 4th down try does not bite them. Travis takes the snap, and he scrambles out. He'll get 8 yards further downfield for a 2nd and 2. Travis now hands off to Benson. He works his way to the outside. He's got a good angle. He turns upfield after 17 yards, and they are 17 yards closer now, 1st and 10, Florida State. Running the ball with Benson, battling off a couple of guys, 2 yards for Benson. He seems to be in a really good place today, really taking his time trying to find those holes. Play action pass. Travis rolls out to the right. He's got plenty of room, and he tries to throw into traffic. Johnny Wilson can't haul it in, but you would have thought that Travis would have just run with that one. But either way, Travis going to make some adjustments on 3rd and 8, trying to set his team up. He rolls out to the right, fires, and hits Jaheim Bell, old reliable at tight end. 17 yards for Jaheim Bell, and that's a 1st down and inside the red zone for Florida State. Triple option look that UCF has diagnosed very nicely. Rodney Hill goes down early, 2nd and 11 now after that 1 yard loss for Rodney Hill. Benson in the backfield again. Travis making a few more adjustments, trying to make sure he gets the right look on this play. Travis fires and hits Keon Coleman right at the sticks, and Keon Coleman's 12 yards has Florida State inside the 5. Florida State now going under center for Travis. He gets the snap, he looks right, he throws it up to Johnny Wilson. Nothing really to be done about that. A nice fade ball to the back of the end zone. And watch Johnny Wilson just work himself back to this ball, boxing out the defender with his 6'7", 245 frame. Nothing he can do about that. Just a well-executed play when you're inside the 5. That seems to be a good look for you if you're Florida State. They tie this one up at 7. Ball back to UCF with 2:10 to go in the 1st quarter. Play action fake for Plumlee. He'll hit his tight end, Alec Holler. He'll pick up 18 yards, and UCF is out and moving with their offense. Minute 55 to go. 1st and 10, man in motion for Baker. They're going to kind of fake a handoff, and then Plumlee tries to escape, but he'll have no positive yardage to be gained. It was Fentrell Cypress, the cornerback, stepping up to get that TFL. Another play action fake for Plumlee, and he throws a dangerous ball that Kobe Hetson is able to go and retrieve. He'll get 8 yards closer, and now it's a 3rd and 2 for UCF. They're in the shotgun again this time. Bowman moves behind him, and they try to run it with Bowman, but Florida State is able to get that middle penetration, and it looks like a couple of guys were in on the play, Shaheem Brown mostly, to get that TFL, and that will lead to a UCF punt, and Florida State is back in business. Here is one of their lower string running backs, Keziah Holmes, for 7 yards. He rumbles forward and gets them to a 2nd and 3. This time, Travis on a keeper. He'll lose a yard, and now another 3rd and 3, and they could be giving the ball back to UCF very quickly after we get back from the quarter break. First play in, Florida State will be trying to convert a 3rd down now. Snap to Travis. He's running out to the right. He's got a couple of guys, and Marqueston Douglas just drops that one. That is not Travis's accuracy coming into play, but that drop leads to a punt, and UCF takes over about at the 40-yard line. Plumlee steps up, tries to scramble, runs over a couple of dudes. He still has some green grass before he's taken down past the 30-yard line. His 33-yard rush puts UCF in business, and they are definitely in scoring territory now. Plumlee drops back, got plenty of time, throws this one away. Does not look like that was even a throw remotely towards anyone. He had plenty of time in the pocket. Kind of weird that he didn't just try to scramble for some positive yardage, but Plumlee's done a nice job with the offensive line protection. He'll drop this one off to Holler, puts a move on the defender, and get his way all the way to the end zone 27 yards later. and UCF takes a 14-7 lead, and they are clearly not intimidated by Big Brother FSU in the state of Florida. They are trying to stake their claim today, and they've done a good job so far today as they've seemed like they've belonged. This is another outside run to Benson to start the drive, 12 more yards, and he is really churning away at this defense. Here's a slip screen to Toafili. He'll get the ball, turn upfield after a change of directions for 6 yards, and Florida State is back and moving. That last drive, they did not have this kind of chemistry already. You can see what the run game can do for them if they'll just let it happen. Travis running out to the right, looking, and he'll go take a couple of yards to make this an even more manageable third down, 3rd and 3 with Benson in the backfield, and he'll get that carry and pile drive his way forward. He'll get 4 yards when you need 3. Perfect set for Benson as he gets a first down for Florida State. Travis in the shotgun this time. He's got Rodney Hill in the backfield with him. Keon Coleman coming in motion. He'll run by, play action fake. Travis looking downfield, and there's nothing there. He's brought down by the UCF defenders, and they'll lose 13 yards. A 2nd and 23 is not the way you want to go, obviously. Makes this conversion very difficult. You're going to have to methodically work your way back to that first down marker. Travis gets the snap, steps up and hits Johnny Wilson. Wilson's able to get 8 or more yards and makes it a 3rd and 15, which is more manageable, but still not amazing. And then a similar play just dishes it back out to Johnny Wilson. Doesn't even let anything develop. It kind of looks like Travis is a little skittish back there, but those 7 yards will only cut the needed yardage in half, and that ball goes back to UCF on 4th down, as now they have the ball about the 20-yard line with 5 minutes to go in the half. Plumlee gets the snap and fires. Lucky that one wasn't picked off by Cypress, but it's just batted to the ground, and Plumlee lives to throw another day. 2nd and 10 after a man in motion. Plumlee drops back, tries to step up, but there is a lot of congestion. It's 3rd and 13 now after Blake Nicholson, the true freshman linebacker, able to rush in there and bring him down. 3rd and 13, drop back for Plumlee. He's trying to find someone. Not enough time as Patrick Payton, last year's ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year, steps up, brings him down, and now Florida State gets the ball back in good field position around the 40-yard line after that 3 and out. 1st and 10 Florida State. Keon Coleman slips through on a nice screen pass for 14 yards, and this gets the offense moving and gets Travis's confidence up, which cannot be at an all-time high after the way today's game has started. Travis running out to the right, loops around, really good angle by Travis, a lot of awareness on that play, and he's able to pick up a very nice chunk play. It has not been the most prolific day running for Travis, but he has picked his spots very nicely when he's needed to today. Travis in a 5-wide look, dropping back a long way and throws to the end zone, but it is not going to find his target, Kentron Portier, and Florida State will live to throw another day. 2nd and 10, run up the middle to Benson. There's 14 yards, and you have to feel like if Florida State wanted to, they could really just run the ball with Benson the entire day and punish this UCF defense. Fires to the end zone. Looked like Winston Wright had some room, but that's another drop in the end zone, and Florida State's going to have to settle for a run on 2nd down to Rodney Hill, which will cut the needed yards in half and put it at about 3rd and 4 at this point with 2:08 to go. Time ticking down. Florida State taking their time with this one. Travis rolling out to the right, waiting for something. Destin Hill comes open, comes back to the ball, works his way back in the end zone, and the true freshman has a receiving touchdown of his own, and Travis has his 2nd passing touchdown of the day. 1:56 remaining in the half. 14-14. This is exactly what we were looking for. Plumlee dumps off to Bowman for 5 yards. Now they have a 2nd and 5. Bowman stays in the backfield with Plumlee, and this little pistolish look. He'll get the snap. He's scanning, looking, he's got some room upfield, runs for it, and he'll get about 8 yards when he needed 5, and UCF has a first down, 1:15 to go. Plumlee drops back, doesn't take a lot of time, and just throws that one away, essentially. Probably did not like his look and how quick the penetration was. This time he'll try to scramble out. Florida State lays a big hit on him. He gets 5 yards, but he still needs 5 more on 3rd and 5 this time. Snap to Plumlee, fires, and hits Javon Baker for 12 yards. Very nice quick route. Florida State did not react quick enough, and now they are facing a first down with about 45 seconds to go. Plumlee steps up, avoids a lot of pressure, and just ends up throwing it into the ground. Probably a good look. It looked like it was a little too chaotic for UCF on that play. drop back and fire. Florida State bats that one down. 3rd and 10 now for Florida State's defense, trying to force one more stop before halftime. Plumlee looking and gets brought down. He was scanning downfield and did not see that he was getting brought down by Gilbert Edmond on that play. Got a nice rush from his position. Florida State takes over after the punt, but it's Tate Rodemaker at quarterback. It looks like the medical staff is looking at Jordan Travis, and he's already heading back to the locker room. Don't know how much of this is precautionary, but definitely something to watch. We have a 14-14 game at the half, and these two teams have played literally to a stalemate. But now the key factor is how much more of this game is Tate Rodemaker going to play? Is Jordan Travis going to come back to this game? Florida State has dominated the time of possession, and their offense has been more dynamic. But UCF, they're in a 14-14 game, and now they're the ones with their starting quarterback still intact. Let's see how the rest of this game goes. Plumlee, first play out of the half, hits Alec Holler on a beautiful route from the tight end. 21 yards later, and UCF is approaching midfield, and their offense is moving. This time, a run to Bowman for 3 yards sets up a 2nd and 7. Plumlee again in this kind of pistolish look. He's going to give the ball off to Bowman. He gets 10 yards, and they have a first down. Bowman has not been heavily featured in the offense so far, and you got to think if UCF is going to be successful, they need to incorporate him more. This is a counter look for Bowman. He gets 6 yards, and he's running just as effectively as Trey Benson has been. And you see how much of an offensive load he's been able to take on for this Florida State offense. And, Bowman is just as capable. This time, a handoff to the backup running back. He'll get 8 yards on a first down as the UCF Golden Knight loves it as his Knights are in business. UCF inside the 30. Got Bowman moving into the backfield. He'll try to run up the middle, but he is stopped immediately by the Florida State interior pressure. That was Tatum Bethune got in on that first tackle for loss. 2nd and 11. Handoff to the backup running back, Harvey. Harvey will get 4 yards, and now they have a 3rd and 7. Manageable, but still challenging. Let's see if Florida State's defense can get off the field early. They dump it off to Gamage, and Gamage is able to fight through the potential tackle to get to a first down. UCF still moving and grooving. 6.5 minutes to go, and Plumlee throws it away on first down. He is just not letting the routes develop and seems to be throwing away when faced with any kind of pressure. This time, Plumlee dumps it off to Bowman, but Bowman can't keep his feet in bounds. He steps out early, and that leads to a 3rd and 5 for Plumlee in the offense. Plumlee drops back again, fires this time to Hudson, and Hudson will only get 1 or 2 yards, and they're going to still be 3 or 4 yards short before they eventually kick the field goal, going up 17-14. Rodemaker is still in at quarterback, but instead they're going to hand this one off to Benson to start the second half, and that's 36 yards later, and Florida State is in business. Tate Rodemaker's loving it. Easy way to start your coming into a game as a backup if you have a running game like this, and I would expect Florida State to lean even more heavily that way. This time a run to Toafili. He's trying to find some space, but UCF cuts off all of his oxygen, and that'll be a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 now for Tate Rodemaker in the offense, and this is Toafili trying to make something happen, and it's just not there. Another pistol look seems to be where Rodemaker is pretty comfortable at this point. Steps up and hits Marqueston Douglas, who had that drop earlier in the game. He'll make up for it with a 7-yard reception to set up 3rd and 5. Big opportunity to try and get a conversion for this offense. Read option look, and Rodemaker is running backwards, and he just needed to take that loss when he saw it. But they're kind of in no man's land again. Their field goal kicker cannot hit from here, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 10 already. Snap to Rodemaker. He runs out to the right looking for something to happen, and he hits Winston Wright, who comes free underneath for 14 yards, and that's what they needed to get that first down, and Rodemaker lives to fight another day. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff to Benson. He fights for 8 yards, setting up a 2nd and 2 for his backup quarterback, who seems to be equating himself pretty nicely. Some things are not quite as smooth, but so far so good for Rodemaker. Handoff up the middle to Benson. He'll get his 4 yards. Nice, clean, and easy for him. 1st and 10 Florida State. 3:10 to go in this 3rd quarter. 17-14 UCF. This is a pitch play out to Keziah Holmes, and he does not have the space as UCF herds him in very nicely. That'll be a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11 for the Florida State offense. Snap to Rodemaker. He runs out to the right looking for some room. He's going to try and throw this to the end zone, and there's Keon Coleman into the back of the end zone on a beautiful throw. I did not think that Rodemaker had any space there, but he threw a beautiful ball to Keon Coleman just as he was coming free and just had enough space in the back of the end zone. And that's got to be a killer for UCF, letting the backup quarterback come in the game and lead a touchdown drive that puts Florida State up 21-17. UCF starts their ensuing drive with a 3-yard run by DeMarcus Bowman. 2nd and 7 now for Plumlee in the shotgun. He gets the snap. He fires to DeMarcus Bowman out of the backfield, and he'll get to 3rd and inches, leaving them with a very easy conversion chance, but still an opportunity for Florida State to get off the field and really retake some momentum. Moves into the backfield, play action fake, dump off to Kobe Hudson this time, and Hudson will take 10 yards with that reception, and those 10 yards will lead to a first down. 1:30 remaining in this third quarter. Plumlee drops back, fires and hits one of his more favorite targets, Alec Holler, with a 5-yard reception now, and his 5th catch on the day. 2nd and 5 for UCF. Plumlee has Bowman in the backfield, but he's going to fire and hits Alec Holler. This time it's only for 1 yard. And now this 3rd and 4, very crucial, you would think, at this point, as UCF wants to be able to maintain some of this momentum. Their offense is moving, and they're going to need points again to stay in this with Florida State, and they don't want that defense feeling any better than it does. Plumlee scanning, having some time. He's hit as he throws, but he delivers a beautiful ball to Kobe Hudson on the sideline, so that's a first down. And UCF is in their territory again, looking to go and get some points, and if they can, 7 points and retaking this lead would probably go a long way for Plumlee. Hand off to Bowman. Bowman takes 2 yards, and that's 2nd and 8. I'm very impressed with UCF, how they've stayed composed on these drives. They haven't gotten pass happy where they've tried to make the big play. They've just been trying to make the right play. This time, Plumlee steps up and delivers one of his best balls of the day, 23 yards up the middle to Kobe Hudson. And they're putting them 4s up as it's time for UCF, 1st and goal, 9 minutes to go in this game. They have 9 minutes to pull off the upset and stake their claim to the Florida State crown, and they'll start with a 5-yard run up the middle by DeMarcus Bowman, setting up a 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line. Bowman in the backfield again, this time with Plumlee. He finds the end zone untouched, his 2nd touchdown of the day, and UCF retakes this lead 24-21, 8.5 minutes to go. And on the Florida State sideline, we see Jordan Travis is there. He's talking to Mike Norvell. They're pointing at the ankle. Don't know if anything's happening there, but Rodemaker is going to start this drive with 8.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10. 3 down lineman throws it out to Keon Coleman. He's running down the sidelines, and he's able to get quite a few yards, and they'll get the first down with that one. New first down for Florida State. This is going to be a counter run for Toafili. He puts a spin move on, and he just cannot stay up, and that'll be 8 yards for Toafili on the rush. And now we see Jordan Travis running back onto the field, giving a round of applause to Rodemaker, but Travis is taking back over on the offense, saying his ankle feels fine and he wants to lead this team. This is a nice, easy screen pass they tried to set up, but Destin Hill will actually lose a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3 for Florida State. Big spot to have your big play quarterback to come back into, but he's the guy you need to ride if you want to win this game. And Travis does not see anything opened up, and he is brought down for a 12-yard loss. And this is not a 4th down that Florida State can go for with 7:16 remaining. They will punt it away, and UCF will have the ball under 7 minutes to go, up by 3. A huge drive now for UCF. They're going to run the ball at the middle to Bowman. He'll get 1 yard, 2nd and 9. Time's a ticking, and time is their friend for UCF. They just want to try and drain as much clock as they can, and if they come away with a touchdown, they could effectively end this game. This is a throw to Bowman out of the backfield for 8 yards, setting up a crucial 3rd and inches very early on in this drive. Can really set the tone for how the rest of this game is going to go. He's going to get the ball on 3rd and inches, and he has a little counter look that he's able to work to the outside for 7 yards. That's more than enough on inches, and UCF has a first down, and they are lurking, trying to pull off this massive upset and really put themselves in position to win the SEC East in their first season. But that throw isn't going to help as it deflects off a lineman. 2nd and 10 UCF now. Shotgun snap to Plumlee, hands off to Bowman. Bowman works his way up the middle, and he'll get to 3rd and inches again. But that's a very convertible distance. Let's see if UCF has something in the playbook to convert this. Fakes the handoff this time. Plumlee runs it himself up the middle, and he'll get himself 11 yards of his own. First down UCF. Kicking towards 5 minutes remaining. Baker in motion, runs through the backfield, but they're going to hand this off to Harvey, who breaks through a big tackle, able to get 8 yards to set up 2nd and 2. And UCF has done an amazing job of putting themselves in convertible distances and not being in too many 3rd and longs, and it's paying off greatly for them as they've already been inside the 25 now. Plumlee on the snap, fires this time to Trent Whitmore, 7 yards, a guy who has only 1 catch so far now, but that catch is a 1st down, and UCF is moving. Florida State safeties come up into the box, trying to dare them to run the ball against this big front, see if Plumlee can beat them through the air. He fakes and throws, fires to the end zone. It is broken up. He had to get rid of that ball quick with the pressure coming, and the Florida State DB was able to make a play on that one. 2nd and 10. Big play for Plumlee. Makes a change at the line. This time he's going to fire through the end zone. Not even going to get near anybody's hands with that play. 3rd and 10. A big opportunity for Florida State to get off the field again if they can. This time he fires and hits Alec Holler. Who else? And he reaches forward. He'll get to about the 3 or 2 yard line. 1st and goal UCF. A touchdown here would be a killer to Florida State. Plumlee just tries to blast his way up the middle, and he's going to get nowhere closer, but nowhere farther away either. 2nd and goal basically from the same position. Time's still a ticking, 3:40 to go. Fakes the handoff. Plumlee trying to work through traffic, and this time he will lose a yard technically on the play. 3rd and goal, under 3 minutes to go. Gonna fake the handoff to Bowman, and it looks like he had a lane. He tried to cut back a little bit, and they're gonna be 1 yard short. What are they gonna do? And they're gonna kick the field goal now. 2:15 will be remaining when this kick goes up, and it is good. UCF up by 6, 2 minutes to go. Does Jordan Travis have a drive in him? They're going to start with a run from Benson right up the middle, untouched until about 12 yards down the field, 14 yards on the gain, 1st and 10 Florida State. They're in no hurry at this point. They have 3 timeouts. This is an option look. He's able to dish it off to Lawrence Toafili, and they are already at the 35-yard line, 1:49 to go. They are in no hurry. Florida State's in control of the clock. They definitely want to give the ball back to UCF with as little time as possible. They know this is going to be their last drive. Travis running out to the right, looking for anything to help him, but he doesn't even get rid of the ball as he's sacked out of bounds and actually fumbled the ball. Luckily, it was out of bounds, but that loss of 6 definitely does not help out the cause. And Travis and company are going to be in the shotgun to start this play. Travis rolls out to the left, looks very awkward as he can't get the ball back out to the right, throwing cross-body. And now they face a 3rd and 16 and need to worry about a conversion if they want to keep the drive alive. Fires to Winston Wright. He puts a move on the defender and works his way to a 4th and inches situation. FSU needs this conversion. If they don't get it, the game could effectively be over. This is going to be a handoff to Benson, and he will only get 1 yard on that play, and that 1 yard is valuable enough to keep the Florida State offense alive. 40 seconds remaining. Travis fires, hits Jaheim Bell on a beautiful route. 15 yards later, 1st and goal, 30 seconds remaining. Florida State in total control with 3 timeouts. What can they do? Pistol snap to Travis. He rolls out to the left, looking for anything to open up. Nothing's there, and he's going to try and run forward and actually loses 2 yards. Should have just thrown it out of bounds, but tried to make too much happen. 18 seconds to go. 2nd and goal, this time an outside handoff to Benson. He cuts back upfield. He'll get to about the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal, down by 6. 12 seconds remaining. Shotgun snap to Travis. He fires to Deuce Spann for the touchdown in the side of the end zone. Deuce Spann's first catch of the day. Obviously his first touchdown of the day on Travis's 3rd touchdown throw of the day. And Florida State, with the extra point, has taken the 1-point lead. Now Plumlee and company has 1 play after the kickoff. Can they make some magic happen at the bounce house? Throws it, still 20 yards short. That ball hits the ground, and Florida State will escape. A true classic between these new conference rivals. UCF definitely asserted that they belong on the stage, but when push came to shove, Jordan Travis and company were able to come down and get a touchdown on a crucial drive when UCF just came up a few inches short on their crucial drive and could only get a field goal. Woo! That was quite a game, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. The stats from this game aren't that impressive and didn't really feel the need to go through the player stats. I think everything that is encapsulated in this game is right here. For us, we had a game where we got to dominate the time of possession. The turnovers were pretty equal. We ran the ball very nicely. They actually threw the ball more than we did, and I think it showed. It was a very balanced game back and forth. It was a 1-point game and just an amazing game to watch, and a lot of that gets thrown off because Travis left the game halfway through and we lost some of his abilities, but Rodemaker did a nice job in the offense, and it ended up being a pretty balanced attack, and I really enjoyed what happened. We got a good pass rush today, and overall a very solid game, and only the one turnover on the first drive, so I'm not too upset. I think that's just a really good example of the sliders playing out to a good game, of a 1-point game, against a team that was lower rated than us on like the NCAA scale, but still, overall very impressive. Next week, it's a game against Georgia for all the marbles. We needed this game to stay alive and have a chance to win the SEC East. We can clinch it next week with a win, essentially. But if we lose to Georgia, 95% chance they will end up winning it because they'll just need to beat Georgia Tech. But either way, thanks for tuning in. I hope you tune in for the recap video so you can see what's going on around the country as the next video on this channel. But if you're just coming for main games, it's going to be against Georgia as the next one, and I can guarantee you that's going to be one you don't want to miss. And as always, go Noles.